Welcome back to PlantsNotPlastic. I'm Nikita, and today we're making some simple, tasty breakfast potatoes and then turning them into a delicious potato hash. If you're out at a diner and ordering off the breakfast menu, when asked to choose between a side of toast, hash browns, or breakfast potatoes, two of those options are potatoes, and I don't think anyone is choosing the toast. And while I am still working on an oil-free hash browns recipe for the channel, breakfast potatoes will not only do for now, but I think they're a welcome recipe for anyone's morning plate. Potatoes in any form are wonderfully filling, and when roasted up and turned into crispy little nuggets, they're one of the tastiest and most satisfying foods. So today we're going to make them as a simple side option without using any oil before taking them and using them as a base for a delicious potato hash. Here's everything you'll need to make both recipes. I'll also leave everything in the description box below, along with links to the blog posts with some enticing photos and printable recipe cards. Before we even start, if you're looking to minimize or eliminate oil from your diet and you want crispy and delicious food, buy an air fryer. Some people argue that it's not a necessary kitchen tool because you can just use the oven, but I promise you it's not the same, and even if it was, it's nowhere near as convenient. Air fryers do a fabulous job of getting all up in whatever you're cooking, making sure that your food is crispy on all sides while being much less likely to stick to itself or the pan while it's cooking like it does in the oven. I cannot endorse this investment enough. But for those of you I can't convince, or given that air fryers can be kind of pricey, I'll cover how to make these potatoes in the oven as well. So kicking it off with the breakfast potatoes, you are going to start by preheating your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit if you're using it, and then washing and optionally peeling your potatoes. I personally don't, because I don't think that leaving the skin on sacrifices anything in the way of texture. It's less food waste and it's just easier. I just make sure that I wash them well. I cube my potatoes by first cutting them in thirds lengthwise and then chopping them vertically into fairly even pieces. We'll then transfer the cubed potatoes into a mixing bowl and add all of our spices. You can go just as simple as flour, salt, and pepper, and the potatoes will still come out great, though I would personally recommend adding in garlic powder, onion powder, and paprika, and that's why I've listed them on the main ingredients list in the recipe card. But today I'm going to throw in the whole mix of ingredients and add rosemary and thyme, parsley, nutritional yeast, and cayenne for a little bit of a kick. This recipe takes very well to any combination of these spices, and you don't even have to use exact measurements, so you can really play with it and find what you enjoy most. The tablespoon of flour is the most important component of this recipe though, to make sure that you get your potatoes nice and crispy. I'm not even exactly sure what does it, and if you do, let me know in the comments, but something about giving them this light dusting of flour extracts some of the moisture from the outside and helps to crisp them up even better than any other method I've tried. The last thing I'll add is a tablespoon or so of water to help your spices stick to the potatoes without using any oil, and then you'll just toss everything together to evenly coat the potatoes. Alright, so if you're using your oven, grab a non-stick baking sheet or line a baking sheet with paper or a silicone baking mat and spread your potatoes out into a single layer. Bake your potatoes for 25 to 30 minutes until they're golden brown and cook through, flipping at the halfway point if it's needed. If you are going the glorious air fryer route though, toss your whole bowl of potatoes into the basket and set to air fry at 390 degrees for 20 minutes. At about the 6 to 8 minute mark, leave the air fryer running and remove the basket using a spatula to help toss the potatoes and unstick any of the pieces at the bottom. After this first toss, nothing else should stick, and you'll just toss them every 5 minutes or so to make sure everything is cooking evenly, leaving the air fryer running each time. When the time runs itself down, pour them out onto your serving plate and they are ready to enjoy right away. These breakfast potatoes come out perfectly cooked through, a beautiful golden brown, extra crispy, and ridiculously tasty. They can easily be enjoyed by themselves, served up with a bit of ketchup or other favorite dipping sauce. Mine, personally, is either barbecue sauce or ketchup mixed with sriracha, or alongside other breakfast favorites. If you don't finish them in a single go, they can also easily be crisped back up by throwing them into the air fryer for a few more minutes. But now, we're going to take them and turn them into a full-blown dish, and for that, we only need two other ingredients, bell pepper and onion. If you knew from the beginning that you were going to be making the hash, you will do all your veggie prep at once so that you can be cooking your veggies stovetop while your potatoes are crisping up in the air fryer or the oven. And while I'm also sharing this recipe with just the 2 additional ingredients, you can easily throw in any mix of vegetables that your heart desires. Be it mushrooms, broccoli or asparagus, even tomatoes would all go wonderfully in this dish. The main thing that you're looking to do during your allotted 20 minutes of cooking time is caramelizing your onions. And while I love to advertise that my layer sauté method is great for oil-free cooking, we're going to need a little help for this one. The best no-oil way to caramelize onions is to have water, vegetable broth, or even a white wine on hand to deglaze your pan a couple of times while your onions are sizzling in the pan. So you add the onions first and cook them down over a medium heat for 6 to 10 minutes until you get a lot of browning on the bottom of the pan without anything turning black or burning. Your first round of deglazing the pan will be with a 1/4 cup of your liquid of choice to get all of that great flavor up off the bottom of the pan and put it back into your onions, which will turn them into a beautiful golden brown color. Let the pan brown up slightly again and then throw in your other veggies. When you're starting to get a second round of good browned up caramelization on the bottom of the pan, add the paprika and cook for 1 more minute before deglazing again with just enough water or veggie broth to unstick everything. You don't want to use wine for the second round here because you won't have enough time to cook off the alcohol. And the most important thing with this second round of deglazing is you don't want to add so much water that your things get wet. You really do just want to unstick everything from the bottom of the pan and then turn off the heat. If you've timed everything well, your potatoes should have just finished cooking and you can throw them into your pan hot, season with salt and pepper, and optionally add agave or maple syrup to add a little more sweetness. I will note that while the syrup at the end might seem a little bit odd, it's actually a hack that tricks the taste buds into thinking that you've made the carameliest onions anyone has ever made, and have personally become addicted to this trick to give this dish that extra little something. Once you've got everything mixed together, we're ready to serve everything up on a big plate and dig in for a taste test. I am honestly hooked on this hash. It's easy to throw together, it's starchy and crispy, filling, and the perfect balance of sweet and savory. I've eaten it on repeat for lunch despite it being a breakfast food and have cleared out the entire plate by myself multiple times in one sitting. And because it's all just healthy, whole plant ingredients made with 0 oil, I feel 0 shame in gobbling all of it up by myself. For how it stacks up against an alternative, you can check out the full nutrition label on the blog that links out to Chronometer. This recipe, though, is the same as all my others. When comparing it to a non-vegan or processed vegan option, without specialty items or animal products, it will cost you less to make. With plant-based ingredients, it'll have more fiber, and without oil or butter, you get to eat more of it for the same number of calories. So that's it for today's recipe. If you try it out, let me know in the comments. You can also subscribe to my blog for recipes right to your inbox and connect with me on social media for day-to-day content. Also, if there's a recipe that you would like for me to come up with, let me know that as well. I'm always looking for new ideas. And don't forget to subscribe, click the bell, give this video a thumbs up, and come back next time. And now off I go to eat this entire plate of food. Bye.